Welcome back. Now, don't quote me, but I believe the CDC said that this is one thing you should be distancing yourself from. Here's Trtan back time.
If I could turn back time.
And she's a friend. Yeah, oh well, here goes. April 13th, 1860. After departing from St. Joseph, Missouri on April 3rd, the Pony Express arrives in Sacramento, California, completing its first run in only 10 days. Until then, sending a message across the U.S. could take months. However, with rates of $5 an ounce, the average person could not afford it. The Express became obsolete 19 months later with the introduction of the first intercontinental telegraph. A happy birthday to Don Adams, born in 1923, played Agent 86, Maxwell Smart on Get Smart. He was also the voice of Tennessee Tuxedo and Inspector Gadget. As you can see, he also owned the first smartphone.
He did.
All right, and as a Marine, he was in the Battle of Guadalcanal in 1942 and served as a Marine drill instructor. April 14th, 1912, at 11:37 p.m., the unsinkable RMS Titanic strikes an iceberg in the North Atlantic while on her maiden voyage. She sank the next morning at 2:20 in the morning, killing 1,517 of the 2,238 people on board. On a side note, Masabumi Hosono, the only Japanese passenger who survived, was ostracized for the rest of his life in Japan as dishonorable and a coward for not going down with the ship.
Really?
Really.
Terrible.
Press, government, people, everyone. A happy birthday to Anne Sullivan, born in 1866, American educator known as the Miracle Worker. In 1887, she became Helen Keller's teacher and companion. April 15th, 1947, Jackie Robinson of the Brooklyn Dodgers, get it?
There, you said it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Becomes the first African-American to play in a Major League Baseball game. He had played in an exhibition game 4 days earlier. A happy birthday, 1452, Leonardo da Vinci, painter of the Last Supper and the Mona Lisa, also discovered capillary action in 1490 and invented roller bearings in 1496. April 16th, 1943, Swiss chemist and co-discoverer of LSD in 1938, Albert Hofmann accidentally rubs against some LSD and experiences, quote, an uninterrupted stream of fantastic pictures, extraordinary shapes with intense kaleidoscopic play of colors, end quote. He would give himself an intentional dose several days later and experience the first bad acid trip. All right. Happy birthday in 1917, birth to Barry Nelson, American actor and the first James Bond in a live TV version of Casino Royale. His portrayal of 007 was 8 years before Sean Connery. He was also the actor who interviews Jack Nicholson's character for the hotel job in The Shining.
Talk about obscure. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
April 17, 1964, Ford's new sports car, the Mustang, officially goes on sale. Its base price was $2,368, and it sold a record 417,000 units in the first year. It was originally supposed to be a mid-engine two-seater roadster, but that changed when sales of the Thunderbird increased after they added a back seat. A happy birthday to George Adamski. 1891 is his birth. Some regard him as the first modern alien abductee. He claimed to have met with friendly aliens, photographed their spaceships, and to have traveled to the moon and other planets with them. During Prohibition, however, in the 30s, he founded the Royal Order of Tibet in order to get a government license to make wine for religious purposes. He claimed to have amassed a fortune making enough wine for all of Southern California. Yup. And finally this, we all know the Panama Canal was built by the United States. But what country was the first to attempt to build it?
I have no idea.
That's the wrong answer. Well, it's France.
What?
They began work. Yeah, they began work on the canal in 1861, but stopped due to engineering problems and high worker mortality rate. If you know anything about that whole thing in Panama, digging the Panama Canal, a lot of people passed away.
A little difficult, yeah.
Yeah, the United States took over in 1904 with completion in 1914. And that wraps it up for this edition of Trtan Back Time.
If I could turn back